I have to hit the record button. I just popped on here to see what you thought about halos. You know what halos are? Okay, well, let me turn the camera around and kind of try to show you. Usually halos are very unwanted things that happen when stamping. And we'll see if you've ever had a stamp in your stamp class that looks like this. You know that when you tap, 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 and then you put this stamp on your paper and you stamp with it, unintentionally, you might rock your stamp block. And you come up and you have one of these right here. Unwanted little halo. Now that was just a little one, but this could go on like crazy if you were at a stamping class and somebody just kept on squishing into that pad instead of tap, tap, tapping, which is what I always tell them. And then they go to stamp and they say, Robin, what happened? Do you have another sheet of paper for me to use? Well, that's not what I would like to happen. So, have you ever seen these? These are all the pieces of the stuff that surrounds your stamp set when it comes to you in a package. Now, with the new improved super duper cling that we have on these, you can do it more like this. I've taken the stamp sheet and peeled off one side of it so that it looks like this from the back side when all your stamps are in. Then I can pull away this rubber piece that looks kind of like this. And I just said to myself, oh, there has got to be something that we can do with that. There's just got to be. It's too wasteful to just throw away. So I decided that I would take a chunk of it, maybe a chunk like this, or maybe a chunk like this, and see what happens if I would put that on my stamping block and I'd put that like next to the stamp to see if that would stop the rocking. So the trick of this is you have to ink up your stamp first, and I'm not going to clean it on purpose so that we can see if we get that halo. And I'm going to squish into that stamp pad like you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to squish, but I'm going to squish so it looks nice and messy, right? So I'm going to just take a piece of this with its backing off of it right next to that stamp. And I think I got my fingers crossed here. That's going to keep that stamp from rocking somewhat. And you should be able to make a complete stamp without any halos. Hey, look at that now. You may say that, okay, that's not exactly stamped very well over there. So I'm going to take another piece. First, I'm going to take my clean pieces off. I'm going to squish down in that stamp pad some more. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to put a piece of that rubber here. And let's see, let's put another piece of it over here. So that will keep it from rocking in both directions. Let's see how that comes out. Now I'm going to go straight down and I'm going to use lots of pressure that would normally leave a halo. And I'm even going to touch here and touch there to see if that actually causes the halo. And there's no halo. See, I even tried to make a halo and it didn't. So let's try that one more time just to see what we get. Okay, I'm going to put my small piece over here. Even the black got some green on it this time. And put my thing here. And then I'm going to turn my paper over so you can get a nice clean stamp. And we're going to press. And I'm going to rock to the front. I'm going to rock to the back. Let's see if we got a halo. no halo. And just to prove that this would make a halo, I'm going to, without re-inking, stamp down, rock to the front, rock to the back. Look at there, right there, and right there are those annoying little halos. Now let me hold that up so you can see. Halo, halo, no halo. Halo, halo, no halo. Over here, halo, halo, no halo. Perfect print on this one. Not so perfect on this one, but this is before I put the 2 pieces on there. So you don't need to throw these all away. What I decided, or keep them all, what I decided to do was cut off the long straight sections. That way, if I have a large block, I can just take the backing off. You know, this is the first initial backing. And you know, these things cling to your block without a sticker on them. They cling fairly well. You just put that on there, and then you can have a nice long support for that when you're stamping. Here's one more little stamp. We're going to take a tiny stamp this time because tiny stamps seems to always do that. I'm going to use Seaside Bay because that's one of our current stamp sets from our new mini catalog. And I'm going to take this little pearl. The pearl. You have some pearls of wisdom. There's the pearl. And then I'm going to mount it up on a, let's say I don't have a small block. Let's say all I have is this big block left. All right. So I'm going to take a new piece of paper. And I'm just using green because it's garden green because it just shows up on the stamp pad real well. So we're going to ink this up and we're going to tap pretty hard. And you can see what that looks like. So if I stamp with that, especially on this big block, there's lots of room to rock. So we're going to rock. And lo, my goodness, do we really want that halo right there? That one right there? No, 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 we don't want that. So I'm going to ink it up again. And this time I'm going to put my pieces on either side of that pearl. And then I'm going to stamp. I'm going to rock. And you see where I got the halo. There's one little halo. Well, that's on the side that I didn't put the, see right there? It's on this side over here that I did not put a piece of this rubber on. So here's one more little trick. Let's see here. Let's take a piece of this and make like a frame. Now this would be good to use in a class. Okay, but the trick is you got to ink up the stamp first and then have your students put this on there. So you ink up the stamp and they're going to squish. Even though you tell them tap, 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 no squishy. And then you're going to put this little frame all around this guy here. And then we're going to stamp. Well, put some warm air on it just to get it nice and wet. And then we'll stamp and we'll rock around and see what we get. No halo. See? No halo. Even though that stamp is squishy. Let me get it real messed up again. See right there? And then we'll put our piece, our frame, all the way around it like so. And we'll stamp again, this time over here. And just to make sure you know that I'm rocking, I'm going to be obvious with it. Rock, 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 all the way around. That time I got a halo. Oh, what a shame. So let's try a little bit smaller frame around there, or closer. I think a closer frame is what we need. I'm just playing here because I just don't want to throw this piece of rubber away. Has to be useful for something. And if it helps our situation with rocking and over inking, the better. More the better. So let's ink up one more time. Let me turn this over and get a fresh side. And it's good to be obvious. I was really pressing pretty hard with that. So now we're going to put the frame, which is a little closer to that stamp that we want to prevent the halo from. All right, we're going to stamp down and rock. And you know that would normally give you a halo. And it doesn't. So I'm going to take this off again. And just not re-ink yet, because the only thing that stamped was the center of the stamp. The halo stuff didn't come off, so I'm going to breathe on it just to rejuvenate the ink. And I'm going to stamp again, this time rocking like I would for a beginner stamper. And look what you got. Okay, so that's my little tip for the day. Save those little pieces, keep them in a little basket somewhere on your desk. It doesn't need, you don't need to keep them all. Keep some. If they get ink on them, you can just throw them away when you're done. You don't even need to hang on to them. They're disposable and not needed. I used to put them around the stamps on my thing, on my set like this, you know, put them back in their little shapes. Well, that one's never going to fit because that's the wrong stamp set, but this one might. You know, we'd put the bird around here and then I'd try to line them all up. Well, the thing with that was that these are so sticky that it's hard to put them back through the stamp onto the through the frame onto the stamp. So that's what I decided to do. And I hope you find that little tip helpful for you. Remember to put the piece on there as close to the edges of this as possible. This one, like I said, needs 2. You could actually put 3. You could put, you know, reach in your little basket and get another one after you've inked it up, you know, and put another one over here. And that should do it really. And you see how I put that stamp all the way over to the side purposely so that it would leave a inky mess. Now, if you happen to rock in this direction here, over to this side, because there's no way to put a piece there, you may get one. But if you're rocking to the right or left or top or bottom, you should not get any. And I did get a little bit. So not so sure that works this method, but it sure did work real well with the frame method. So I like this rather than this. And if it only does it once or twice out of 2 or 3 times, then it's still saving you the chance of having to hand your student back another piece of paper. By the way, mistakes happen, people. Be nice to your customers. You want them to return to you. If they make a mistake, have some extra paper on hand. When you're sending them a kit, then it's their responsibility because you've given them all the supplies that you possibly could for their kit. I'm going to switch you back around here while I talk to you. If you've given them a kit, then they have all the equipment they need and they don't need any extra sheets. They would have to get that from their own supply. But if you're at an in-person class and they make a mistake and they go, oh, this really looks bad. Do you have a spare sheet of paper? You're going to say to them, or you shouldn't say to them, no, turn it over and you got one more try at it. If you mess that one up, you don't get another chance. Not the way I run my business. If they've tried twice and they still make a mistake, this is the method that I would try to get them to not make that mistake in the first place. I may be a little strange, just something I thought I'd try just for the fun of it and see what happens. So when you're doing your classes, if this tip has been invaluable for you, let me know. There is one other method that you can do, and that is, and I didn't show you this first. We're going to show you again. I'm going to swing you back down around and around. It has to go like a Ferris wheel around. If you actually take another clean stamp, they will be the same height and it probably won't rock at all. I have this in one of my very much earlier videos. So here's, yeah, we'll stamp over here. You'll be able to see. Here's the stamp rock pretty aggressively. So it made messes all over. If you put a clean stamp, now let me get the ink. Let me ink that back up. Take another stamp from the set that's smaller, but you're not going to use right away. If you put that next to it there, that makes a nice flat surface for this to not rock on. And you can just press down there. It doesn't want to rock. It doesn't even want to rock, and that's because the stamps are the same height. So this is actually an even better way to do it. So you see, no halos. So maybe we'll just can that whole idea that I did it first. Throw your little extra scraps away if you want to. Whoops, I'm upside down. If you want to throw them away, throw them away. But keep a clean stamp to put next to your stamp on your block. That way, if somebody really does the squishy method, you won't have to clean that stamp off right away. And you can stamp to your heart's content without getting, got to find a place to put it there, without getting a halo. There you go. Okay. Talk to you later. Let me know if this helps you at all. Bye for now.